This is a video I've been wanting to make for a while. I have a 2006 Cadillac STS with it's the rear-wheel drive V8 motor with the magnetic ride control MRC. So these are the FE3 F55 shocks, struts for that vehicle. Obviously, anybody with an 05 or an 06, they know that the shocks for those 2 years are more expensive than the rest of the model run for that vehicle. And what you're looking at right now is the reason why. I read on the Cadillac owners forum that the two were the same, but they're not the same. The difference is actually on the lower half of the shock. The distance from the bottom of the spring to the control arm bracket is about 2 inches shorter. When this shock is installed, it's going to be installed on the top first. So if I lift it up, the spring connections, the MRC controls, all of that's going to line up the same, as you can see here. However, the last part of the shock, I'm assuming with a majority of the fluid, or probably fluid filled, spring filled, pressure filled, one or all of those combinations, it's going to be off. So what you're going to have is a situation where the assembly may not be able to even connect, and if it does, obviously your alignment's going to be a little off. I don't know how that changes the suspension from the 06 and 05 from the 7 to 12 or 13 whenever they stop making it. But I know for sure that distance will change my alignment. So contrary to the advice on the owner's form, you cannot get away with, at least for a direct fit, you're not going to get away with it. I could try to install it, but I don't want to waste my time. I'm not really interested in modifying the front end or the suspension to make it work. I just rather spend what it is to get it to work. Unfortunately, it's going to probably take a few days to come in through the internet, of course. This particular shock here has 190,000 miles on it, and just to give you an idea of just how beat it is. So just with normal weight, I weigh about 215 pounds. I'm able to push this in fairly easily. And that, basically I push it all the way down, max travel depth. And I can't do that with the new one. I couldn't do it without the phone in my hand, and it just doesn't move. The old shock I probably went 4 inches. This new one I may have went about ½ an inch. And I put a little bit more pressure behind it. So unfortunately, contrary to the advice, you can't get away with it. The rear shocks you can. I just got done installing the rear shocks on my STS, and they are the same. I haven't had any issues. However, the fronts aren't. So for anyone looking to change their 05, 06, you're going to want those numbers right there. That's the brand, American brand. All those numbers matter, but I think it's really the 220. I can't remember which one I was looking for, but I know the 2220 is a Cadillac part number. So anyone looking, maybe it's not, but just write them all down, Google them all. I think my shocks, I noticed the difference around 85, 90,000 miles. So they went another 100,000 miles beyond what they should be able to go or what they should have been pushed to. Clean off this number for you. 637, that's the number, 637, 931. I remember looking up that number. So you got a host of numbers here now that you can go and find your F55 magnetic ride control shocks with now. Don't try, at least if you're looking for a direct fit, the 07, because you will have some camber issues, I'd assume, because you're going to have to bring that lower part of the suspension system up 2 inches higher, which is essentially should push the tire in a different direction than what the standard suspension calls for. Probably get away with it if you were into, adjusting suspensions and things like that. Probably can get away with it if you messed around with the spring setup, or maybe you just can't get away. I don't know, but it's not a direct fit.